Welcome back to Witch Daily's Countdown to Halloween, the countdown to Samhain, all things witchy and Samhain-y and spooky and fun. We are counting down the days to Samhain. I hope you're getting ready. It's getting close. We're getting very witchy, shall we say. Things are starting to feel a little more witchy. I don't know if you feel it, but I can definitely feel it. So today we are going to talk about some tarot cards. As you know, if you've been following the series, we dedicated Tuesdays to Tarot Tuesdays, and for those days what we're doing is we are talking about certain cards that you may encounter in reading tarot, and if you haven't spent a lot of time studying tarot or knowing about the history of it or working with a teacher, there are some cards that really freak people out in tarot, and I want to I've been taking the kind of heat off of it a little bit. So today we are going to talk about the Devil card, right? So as I've mentioned before, I have been using the Smith-Waite deck for a very long time. The name has changed in the last couple of years. It used to be called the Rider-Waite deck. Now it's the Smith-Waite deck because the collaborators were actually a woman named Pamela Cabot-Smith and Pamela Smith. I can't remember her middle name actually. So Pamela Smith was the artist who created all of the images, and her partner was the one who wrote about them. He had a lot of connections in the Golden Dawn and all of those kind of esoteric societies in the 19th century. So the image that we see with the Devil card, when we start really paying attention to the major arcana, the Devil has the lovers in chains. I don't know if you can see that, but so in this image, the lovers are bound to the Devil, and he is kind of holding it over them, if you will, that he has power. Now, the thing about this card that's really important is not that it's the Devil, because witches typically don't believe in the Devil, but what the Devil represents. So the Devil represents punishment, and usually punishment for something that is gone over the top, right? Lust, or being unfaithful, or not paying attention, right? The Devil card represents something that brings fear, mostly because there's probably been a transgression to temptation, right? So the Devil shouldn't be something that you are afraid of. It should be something that you pay attention to. So if the Devil comes up in your reading, I want you to think about, okay, what cards is it next to? What is it pointing to in terms of what do I need to be thinking about in terms of what am I afraid of? Like, what is my deepest, darkest fear? And does it have anything to do with anything that's happening right now in terms of maybe ways that I've pushed past a limit, or maybe in ways that I've succumbed to culture's interpretation of things I should be afraid of, right? So the Devil is not like, oh, the Devil's coming to get you. The Devil is a card saying, hey, what are you afraid of? What have you been transgressing? Where have you been stepping out of line? Where have you not been paying attention? Right? Where have you taken things for granted? And as a result, is there any place that you are feeling like you're bound, or you're feeling tied to something that's fearful and scary? You know, for me, this often would come up as a job, right? I had, for years, worked in a job that was really, really hard on me. And this card would always come up with the death card. And it used to drive me crazy because it's like, what do you want me to do? Right? But the reality was that I felt bound to the job. Like it was, I called it a golden prison, right? That that I worked in this job that paid me a lot of money and had really a lot of prestige, but it was a golden prison because I was afraid to leave it. And I desperately needed a change. So look at the cards that are around the Devil card if you get this card. Don't assume that it means something scary, or that there is an evil presence that's trying to make a maleficent purpose known to you or bring something to light. It's not to say that the Devil can't show up in other ways that you have fear. So just think about that too, that as you are going through your reading, it might be that there's a deep-seated fear there, or there's some transgression of love, right? Because the opposite of love is fear. It's not hate, it's fear. Hate is just amplified love from a negative place, but fear is the actual opposite of love. So Where do you have fear? Now, if this card shows up upside down, reversals for me tend to mean that the threat is present, or the feeling is present, or the option is present, but it's not being acted upon. So if you get a reversal, then it's still telling you, hey, you need to be paying attention. This is a warning, right? But it's not enacted. It's not happening yet. It's not unfolding for you. So just be careful. If you see this card reversed, it still carries a lot of the same meaning as if it were upright. So don't just get complacent if it shows up in a reading in reverse. If it shows up in a reading in a part of your reading that is demonstrating the past, then it means you dodged a bullet. Okay, if it's reversed. So that's a devil card. Don't be scared. One of the things that is really important to remember about witchcraft, Wicca, paganism, typically, we don't have a devil. There is no evil incarnate. There is no great punisher. There's no elemental or celestial adversary for witches and pagans. For us, everything is kind of an unfolding process. Everything is part of life. And that means sometimes that scary things are also part of life, right? So as you're going through the Samhain season, start thinking about the ways that you might face your fears. That's another really great thing that you can do at Samhain, is pay attention to your fears so that you can find a way to integrate them and move forward, so that as you come on the other side of Samhain, that fear no longer really has a grip on you and a hold on you, right? So I hope you're enjoying these videos. I am immensely enjoying making them for you. If you want to get them in your inbox every day, you can subscribe at witchdaily.com, and we will see you tomorrow with another wonderful witchy countdown.